Okay, I'm back again at this picnic grove on top of Palomar Mountain. We're gonna head back down that dirt road. I believe if you stay on these paved roads around here, it'll take you the civilized way down, but you know, we're not into doing anything civilized. Anybody, that's the Silver Crest picnic area. Mountain lions. If they have signs for mountain lions, I guess they have mountain lions. I don't see any signs for the actual observatory. I believe that it's right up on top of that hill there. I can see like the dishes and stuff, and the gate for that is locked shut. So I don't feel the need to gate crash anything. There's camping, there's a pond, conference center. That's a lookout. And that's the Nate Harrison Grade. It's closed right today, so but the observatory is on top of that hump there. That's called Boucher Lookout. But I'll find you a summit down here. I passed some summits that we'll get off the bike and take some more pictures. But the actual observatory is up yonder. I don't really think the general public, you know, you can't go in and play with a telescope. It's usually tied into some of the universities. I'm sure the colleges have access to it in their astronomy departments, of course. So, you know, there's a way. I mean, I'm sure if you get involved in some kind of a class or take a course in astronomy, you could probably find a way to actually get into the observatory. But I am not up on that, so if you are, knock yourself out. I'm sure there's a way. If there's a will, there's a way, right? But I came up here just to get a little taste of this dirt road. But like I said, most people do not take this way. And it's not I wouldn't call this four-wheel drive only, but it does have some good-sized ruts here and there that might make a passenger car be a little hairy. I do think some people that are young enough do this on mountain bikes too. Because there's a lot of crazy mountain bike people that some mountain bike people go on terrain that I am shocked that they can do what they do. But I'm not that kind of breed. I'm not an extreme anything anymore. I'm lucky to do this. That's what I laugh at myself sometimes. It's like, I'll look at a trail, and the trail will be like really steep and all full of like loose rock and stuff. And I've been with other people riding and they're like, oh yeah, no problem, let's go. They love it. And it's like, you guys go, send me a postcard, I'm not, because I know what my own capabilities are. And like I said, the older you get, I'm not trying to prove anything or show off to anybody. My main objective is to get back in one piece, not have to be towed home, yada yada yada. But a lot of people look at that as like, oh, you're no fun. Well, so be it. I always say to those guys, and normally, the people that are saying that are like 22-year-olds. And I'll say, well, let's see what you do when you're 60-some years old. But this is a nice ride down. I don't really understand why there's such a big turnout here. I guess it's for people that are coming down and they're like, hell, I don't want to keep going here. So they made it an easy place for people to turn around or that kind of a thing. Next 7 miles, squiggly, squiggly, squiggly. Yeah, I like to see that. Now there's a nice rock. I'll take that home? I don't think so. Couldn't even lift it. That's one thing when I'm out in the desert rock hounding with this bike. Sometimes it's hard because I don't have enough room for all my specimens. Usually I'll just put like a milk crate on the back where my gibby box is, and but sometimes that doesn't give me enough room. Then I have to take another trip back to the pickup and unload my prizes. But I have a rock hounding book. It tells you where there's a lot of good places to find crystals and so on, geodes and thunder eggs and stuff. And it cracks me up because it'll say, oh, if your vehicle is not high enough or whatever, you may want to choose to hike in this 2.5 or 3 mile hike into the mine site. I don't do none of that hike in shit. That's what a dirt bike is for. I mean, I like to hike, don't get me wrong, but if you're hiking, you want to carry rocks? I don't think so, you know what I mean? So if you're lucky enough to find some nice crystals and gem specimens, well, rocks get heavy. Do you want to put rocks in a knapsack and carry them? I don't think so. And that's the reason why this bike is my rock hounding bike. It takes you to the abandoned mines, and coming up we're going to do some more rock hounding, and I'll shoot a video. You never know what you're going to find, and that's part of the fun of being a rock hound. Like I said, I've been in some places so far that just on the side of the road, you get off your bike or out of your car and you can find some beautiful quartz specimens or agates or whatever's in that area. And then other times, you know, you can find these remote areas and you can work all day, get exhausted, get filthy with your pick and shovel, and really have no gems to show for it. But you know, you have to enjoy it. I don't do it for trying to get rich. You know, I've always had an appreciation for rocks and minerals. I'm not panning for gold, although that would be fun, but I enjoy working a bank, along a wash, along a river. You usually find a lot of good specimens wherever there's a wash. When the flash floods come, it tends to move the stuff around, and sometimes you can find it. And certain areas, for whatever reason, are known for, you know, different kinds of minerals. But Southern and Northern California have a lot of mineral deposits. Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, all around here. There's lots. And you know, for me, it's fun to find your own little gems. Sure, you can go to a rock shop and buy some beautiful specimens from Brazil, beautiful pieces of amethyst, yada yada yada. But to actually find the stuff yourself makes it a little bit more special. And sometimes when you see rocks in a store, they're all polished and they're beautiful. They don't look like that when you're out in the desert. So you have to know what they look like in the raw form. Otherwise, you could be passing up some beautiful geodes. I mean, when you see a geode that's not cut open, for the most part, you wouldn't even look at that. It's just like a little cannonball, and it doesn't look like anything. And you don't know which one's going to have a beautiful inside crystal pattern, and some don't. Some do. It's all chance. It's all, oh, look at that. Oh, I know you didn't see that, but some of these rocks have like this sparkle effect, and when the sun hits it, they all glitter. I'm gonna go over here towards the edge. So if my camera is still running, I think it is, I hope you can see some of these views. It's really pretty up here, and it's relatively clear. I don't know if you can see it, but you can actually see the ocean from up here. Way out there is the mighty Pacific. And we're up here, but we will be down in that valley, and then we work our way back up, and then we will go through Escondido and then south back down into San Diego. But for those of you that are in this area, and if you're new to dual sporting or off-roading, I highly suggest this route. You can Google it and you can get the map coordinates. Google Maps has it. And if you're just learning off-road, this is a perfect place. It's not too crowded, it's not too gnarly. And like I said, even if you don't have gnarly, knobby tires, you can get up here on just about anything. Hell, I've taken street bikes on roads like this. You just have to you know, use a little common sense, but it's no big deal. Now you see, there is the observatory. You see right up there. You see that little peak with the satellite dish or those microwave dishes? That is the observatory. And back there where I said was roped off, that's where it would take you. I think years ago I came out here. I think I came out here with my dad years ago, and I remember walking around it, but it wasn't open then. We didn't come on this road, of course. I didn't know about it. I actually found out about this road off of a Facebook group that was suggesting some. Oh, now you see, this is, see, I don't know if you can see. I don't know if the sun is picking up, but you can see sort of there's some kind of a mica schist thing going on there. And that's what gives the rock some sparkle. Even in this rock that I'm pointing to right there, I actually see some reflections. There's a little piece of quartz right there. I mean, you just have to know where to look. And you know, if you appreciate rocks, when they sparkle in the sunlight, that it just, I don't know, it makes them special. There's more of it, sort of an ore, and they have that sparkle characteristic. Sort of cool. It's all around here. I love mica schist, fool's gold. I like anything that sparkles. You know, some people would think I'm absolutely crazy. What do you want to look at rocks for? Well, you know, some people want to spend all day, a beautiful day like this, stay inside and gamble in a casino. I'd be bored out of my mind. But that's what makes us all individuals. Now, if you're not paying attention, you go over this embankment, you better be good friends with God. That big building down there, I think that's one of the casinos. Oh, here we have some people being brave. Coming up here. Some people like to come up here and say, oh, I did the dirt road. Good for you. When we get down further down in the, where the grapefruit and oranges are. Oh, I wish you could smell it. It smells so good. I'm just letting gravity take me down. I'm not gonna fly down here. Are you kidding me? What for? Sometimes it's actually fun to go slow, but not too many people agree with me. All the little flowers are starting to bloom. The wind's picking up. The wind is actually chilly. I'm glad I have a full coat on today. This would be a great trail ride on horseback. Well, that's something I haven't done in 100 years. Horseback riding? Oh my God. Talk about bust your ass. Yeah, this is Sound of Music country. The hills are alive. You could yodel, huh? spare me. I've passed 4 people. I've passed 2 coming up and 2 going down. 2 pickup trucks, and those 2 people were just in normal little cars. I didn't realize that they did hang gliding up here. I've never seen them hang glide up here. I know they do hang gliding down by Scripps, Black's Beach area, La Jolla, where the glider port is. But I saw signs up here that said hang gliding. It's all downhill, baby. This is all hard packed, so it's an easy road. If it was really soft sand, that stuff can be a pain in the butt. Because with any soft sand, you have to maintain some speed, or otherwise you're fighting it, and it becomes no fun. Here's this private residence. I'm sure sometimes they get tired of having to come up here every day on this, but it's the price you pay for wilderness living. But like I said, if you live in a place like this, you've got to be a prepper. You have to have a pantry stocked. Makes sense. You don't want to. You have to have your provisions. You have to be ready for anything. When the shit hits the fan, you'll be safe at least. You'll be away from all of the crazy people that are in suburbia, that freak out when the shelves are bare in Walmart. Okay, it's getting overcast, and when the sun is in, it's chilly willy. Wow, you look over this edge of this road. I know you don't get to see it, but if you go over there, you might as well say your prayers, because no one is even going to find you. It would be a very tough recovery to even get to you. So you got to stay sharp. Pay attention. But if you're in the San Diego area, I highly recommend this as a Sunday outing for you. Take your bike up this Nathaniel's Trail. It's a lot of fun to come up here, and it's an easy ride up. You don't have to be you don't have to be no expert motocross guy. There's no cell reception up here. Not that that's a lifesaver or a deal breaker, but this is the glider port place where I saw the sign. This is the same place when we came up. Remember I told you? Right out there. Nobody's there today, so I'd be taking pictures of them if they were. I've never done hang gliding. It's probably fun. I don't know. There's another thumper. Another guy on his Husqvarna. Husqvarnas are very good bikes. I think KTM owns them now. KTMs are good bikes too. But I like my old DR. You know, I think I paid $2,000 for this DR. Husqvarna is about 10 grand. Hello. Having said that, Huskies, like I said, are very good bikes. They have, right out of the box, you don't really have to modify them. I mean, they have good brakes, they have great suspensions. They're an excellent bike, but for my own use, for my skill set, for what I use a bike for, that, you know, it would be nice to have a Husky, be nice to have a KTM, but oh, I just saw a really nice rock on that hill. Wow, I could be picking there. I can't justify myself spending 10 grand for a Husqvarna. If I was 25 or 30 years old and was really an off-road motocross guy that had, you know, a good skill set and had the talent, then I can perfectly, you know, justify spending that kind of money for that kind of bike. They're excellent, like I said. They performance-wise, fuel injected, you know, they're the ultimate off-road bike. But for my needs and for what I do, this DR350 is a lot of fun, and it does good. It does, you know, it does the job. Wow, I really have seen a lot of cool things. If I had my rock pick with me, I would be picking. I'm actually surprised I've only seen one other dirt bike. But for some people, this is not gnarly enough. You know, it's not enough of a challenge. A lot of people, they like all that gnarly shit. It is what it is, you know. If you're really good at it, I understand it. It's a challenge. It's good to have a challenge. But you see, I pretty much use this bike in conjunction with my rock pounding. It's a way for me to get to abandoned mines that, like I said before, I don't want to hike 3 miles. 3 miles in, 3 miles out, 6 miles, hello. Carrying rocks, hello. So I can put the rocks in a backpack or in my milk crate on this, and it's, you know, it's more doable. So for me, I get the best of both worlds, because I do enjoy riding off-road like this, but I put two things that I like. I combine two activities that I like, so it's a win-win situation. You know, sometimes, like I said, I will take the bike to a mine or something, and I like just the exploring the mine or the ghost town or wherever I'm at. And sometimes you don't really find anything that you would call a treasure, or something that you'd even want to, you know, put in your bag and use your energy to carry home. But, you know, then you can say, well, I had fun getting here, and I had fun on the bike and all of that. So it's never, you know, like a washout. It's never like no fun, because you know, it can be a fun day of just riding the bike, and sometimes it's a fun day of riding the bike and you find some treasure. So it's like a double whammy. Now we're coming down into the valley. We're coming down into the valley. I'm not sure the elevation of Palomar Mountain, but if I were to guess, I would say 3,000 to 4,000 feet range. To my knowledge, there's nothing higher around here. I could always be wrong, but some other parts of the desert, of course, you know, you can get 5,000 to 6,000 feet. But most of the collecting sites that I go to around Blythe, Barstow, or Wiley Wells, or they call it the high desert. You know, when you're around the Salton Sea, of course, that's below sea level. So now as people go up there, they go up, you see that they go up there. I've seen knobby tires, so there's probably a trail that they go up there. I'm not going up there today. Before I would take such a steep climb, I would get off and I'd walk up and see what's on the other side. I don't like surprises. I like to know what's on the other side of a steep hill. Otherwise, yeah, you can get up it, but what if it just drops off? No, thank you. Be coming up to the orange groves here pretty soon. All of the rains, the water tears these roads up. That's what makes all of these ruts.